Hello and welcome back to NewtyGuitars, and today we're going to be restringing and cleaning up my Jackson Pro Series Monarch. Let's get started. Okay, here we go. So this is a 2016 Pro Series Jackson Monarch. Trans purple burst. You might have seen my video on this before, but needs a bit of a clean, bit of a polish. I need to hydrate the fretboard, and also need to put some new strings on it. I'm not affiliated with any of the products that we're using today. That is what I typically use. So first of all, it's got a handy little string winder cutter thing. Just makes it a little bit easier, a bit more rapid unwinding the strings. Oh, wrong way. Just going to get this done up here. I'll do these. So just unwound the tuning pegs. Now these are, I've replaced the stock ones with shallow M6 locking tuners. So with these, just need to undo these counterclockwise, anti-clockwise, righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's a bit tight, that one. Should be able to get these out now. Yet. Get all these out. Put it in a safe place. We're going to need that for later. There you go. It's just get those wound up. Okay, give this a quick dust down. Getting all the nooks and crannies, alcoves. You know, you know. Great film. Okay. So first of all, need to clean and prep the fretboard. So I use the D'Addario System 65. You've got a cleaner spray and you've got a conditioner. This stuff is great for darker woods, so laurel, purple heart, ebony, rosewood. Shouldn't use this on maple fingerboards. This should really use something like lemon oil. I think it's quite good for that. You might want to look that up. But first of all, I'm just going to give this a quick spritz across here. Give that a few moments just to soak up and soak in. Cloth number 1. Just have a little, oh, I missed some of that there. Okay, let's give this a good rub in. Helps to get rid of any grime from playing, shows, rehearsals. Strictly speaking, it's good practice to wipe down your fingerboard and your strings after every rehearsal show. It helps improve the life of the guitar, the strings, all this sort of thing as well. I'm not particularly good at that. I do try to remember, particularly during summer when the rehearsal and what have you can get quite hot. How's that looking? Let's give it another go around. It's been a while since I've cleaned this, so I just want to get it looking spick and span. Funny enough, I got this guitar nearly about 10 years ago to the day. That's looking good. Okay. Right. Next is fingerboard conditioner. This helps to hydrate your fretboard, stop it cracking. Probably going to let this soak in a little bit actually, just because it's been a while since I've done this. You can see the fretboard is a little bit dry. Right. While we're waiting for that to soak in, let's give the body a bit of a clean. We'll do the back in a sec. Especially getting here where it gets dusty in between the strings. Does that lift off? No, I've got to unscrew that. I can't be bothered to do that. Might notice this little bubble here. That's where the toggle switch used to be, but I've moved it to down here. A little bit better access, a bit easier. Just prefer it down there really. Okay. Let's give that another go around. Let's wipe off the excess on this now. Just give that a glide over. It's a good idea to wash these cloths every once in a while. No fabric softeners, bit of detergent, hand wash, or you can sit them in a washing machine. Again, just kind of keeps them clean, because if you have a dirty cloth, are you really going to be cleaning your guitar? Probably not. Just be moving grime from one to another. That's looking a lot better. Nice. Okay. flip this over, do the back. Don't forget to don't neglect the neck. Again, that's where your sweaty hands are going to be. Okay, let's get this a good once over, a good rubbing. All right. Okay, that feels silky smooth now. Okay, just gives a bit of a shine. So that's a little bit too small. So these are Dunlop fret collars. They come in different sizes. I've got two here. I'm certain I had some more, but yeah, you got the different diameters on here, which is in inches. So 0.125 diameter, 0.8. So this is slightly thicker, maybe your medium jumbo frets. This is for your smaller ones. So fit that nicely over there. Got a little fret polishing cloth. Let's move that away. I should probably give this a bit of a clean at some point. Just give them a rub down. These are nickel silver frets, I think. Not anywhere near as hard wearing as stainless steel, but for the amount that I play, I don't think I really need stainless steel frets. Might be a nice thing to have. I played a couple of guitars with them, but don't own one with them. Thinking about it, I probably should have polished the frets first. Need to go over that again. Never mind, doesn't matter. Okay, let's get these on. So these are the EXL 11 to 49. So this guitar is set up normally in D standard. I find that this gauge works quite well for this. Now you can calculate your string tensions and what have you. D'Addario have a calculator, Stringjoy have a calculator. So that basically if you're down tuning, or you're tuning to even standard tuning, you end up with a set of string gauges that aren't too floppy or too tight, because that will have an impact on your overall playability of the instrument. So for example, if your strings are too loose, pardon me, if your strings are too loose, what will happen is you can bend strings too sharp where you're applying pressure onto the frets, or if you're bending you can overshoot the pitch note that you're going for. If they're too tight, then you have sort of the opposite kind of problem. You have to press harder to fret, and the tension will feel off. If you hit really hard on the guitar, then sometimes having an extra bit of tension is quite useful. But you also put tension on the neck, and then you have to adjust the truss rod, which is a pain. You want to be doing that. I hate it. I hate adjusting truss rods. I do like the little colour coding on these. Does anyone else like that? It makes me a little bit happy when you see all the coloured ends. Oh, where's that one? There you are. In you go. Okay, right. Get that on the bridge. There's one. Okay. One. Number two. And lastly, thread this through. So one thing I love about locking tuners is basically just feed the string through, and then you just tighten up the lock on the back. Typically speaking, same for most of these work in similar ways. The ones I prefer are the shallow style or the Goto ones where you have the little screw on the back. I rather like those. Okay, just down a little bit. So, important thing, stretch up your strings. This helps bed them in a lot quicker. Nicely getting these in tune. My ear isn't that good. Just getting them to the rough area, and then let them settle for a bit, and we tune up. What I typically tend to do, particularly on hardtail guitars, is just overshoot them by a semitone or so for what I actually want. Don't know if it does anything, it's just a habit. My biggest fear is one of these snapping into my eye. One thing I also saw is if you're retuning a Floyd Rose, you shouldn't do it this way. You should always do it in the way that you're playing. It's something to do with the, particularly if it's set up to float, that it will have an impact on the tuning. I think it was Herman Lee from Dragon Force on his YouTube. He demonstrated that if you're tuning up a Floyd Rose this way, he had this with an electronic tuner, like a pedal tuner, not a clip-on. He tunes to something, and then as he put it into playing position, it changed the tuning ever so slightly, I guess because the gravity is moving the bridge ever so slightly. And he also demonstrated it more by turning the guitar that way, so that the bridge is being pulled down by the weight of gravity. Just put finger smudges on the back of the guitar there. I have to clean those off. And I thought that was quite interesting. Personally, I prefer hardtail guitars. All of my, I notice a lot of my guitars are Floyds. That just is just how it happens to be with this particular brand. I find that they end up doing a lot of Floyd guitars and not necessarily a lot of hardtails. Although that's kind of string through, Tune-o-matics, Evertunes, or a few Evertunes, but I don't really use the Floyds a lot anyway. Right, last string. So one of the reasons I also quite like thicker gauge strings is the first guitar I learned on was a Strat with 13s. Just because the person, my uncle that lent it to me, he was really into jazz, and jazz guitar players are known for thicker strings ultimately. I need to find a tuner and tune this up. It's got a little TC Electronic clip-on tuner, Unitune. It's fine. It's runs on battery. It's chromatic. Does the job. Cool. Put that down. Those tuned to F. One thing I would say is it's always worth cutting these off after you've tuned up and it's become stable, otherwise it drops the tuning. Not sure what the reason is. There's probably some sort of tension, physics, science reason for it. If you know, comment down below. I'd actually be quite interested to find out. But let's just give this a proper little tune up. It's in roughly the right area. Oh, not D sharp. Nice. Okay, so let's go back over to the other bench and let's give this a bit of a play. We're back on the second day because when I was recording the outro, my camera decided to switch off. So, but also that gave time for this to settle down. I've cut the remainder of the strings off on there as well, tuned it up, and we're just going to do a quick play through some riffs just to kind of hear the difference. So it definitely sounds a lot brighter now, and the neck feels a lot smoother now that I've actually cleaned all the build up of grime and dust off of it as well. So definitely sounds a lot more full of life. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out some of my others on the channel here as well. But take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.